Hello. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to set up a data set using Excel. And so Excel is a very common program and very practical and very useful for organizing our data. And so anytime we're collecting surveys, one of the easiest ways to make sense of what we've got in our surveys is to use Excel. So to get started, there's a couple of principles that I think are important to remember. In our case, we have measured data. We've collected data from people. And so for our data set, we want each person to be a unique row. So every person who filled out my survey, every individual should be their own row. And then for every column, we should have a unique construct that was measured using your survey. So if we look at what we've got here, we can see that in our fictional survey that we're using for this demonstration, we have measured sex of the respondent. We have measured their age. And we've also measured three constructs: extroversion, anxiety, and empathy. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, we did this using a Likert scale, a 1 to 7 scale, so that a higher value on the scale means a higher level of self-report for this construct. So this is a simplified version of what we're going to be doing in real life, but it's kind of good to see it in its form. So I have labeled each of the surveys. So every time I get a new survey, I'm going to give it a unique label to identify it, to make sure I'm not entering the same person's data twice. So in this case, I have 10 surveys and 10 unique surveys. And so when I enter them, I'm going to enter each person's data in their own row. So person number 1, whoever that was, they indicated a 1 for sex. And I should know if that means male or female by looking at my survey. They indicated 19 for their age, and for the Likert scale, they indicated a 3 for extroversion, a 3 for anxiety, and a 4 for empathy. So this is the case with every person that fills out my survey. So when I'm assembling the data set, I want to make sure I have all my surveys accounted for. I want to make sure that each person is a unique row and that each column is a unique construct or variable. Now keep in mind, if I have multiple items to measure extroversion, say, then I should give those multiple items each their own column as well. In this case, I've just got one item measuring extroversion, one item measuring anxiety, and one item measuring empathy. So once I've got it in this form, it becomes easier to keep track of, and now I can start doing things. I can start making computations like means, standard deviations, and correlations, and it's very straightforward once I've got my data set up in a way that's organized and I know everything going on